Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know you are here today because you want to save money while this recession lasts, and we know that this recession is not going to last very long, but we need to keep that hard-earned cash in our pocket. Now, before we jump into the tips to save cash, let me try to help you understand what actually recession is and what happens during recession. In recession, we have three components which largely happens. The first one is high inflation rate. If you don't know about that, high inflation rate is pretty normal when it comes to recession. High inflation rate means everything around you is generally getting very expensive, whether you consider your groceries, your gas prices, or anything which you use in your day-to-day lives is getting more and more expensive every single day, and the price just keeps skyrocketing. Every single month you will be seeing how tomatoes are getting expensive. So yeah, that's your inflation. The second one is high interest rate. Now to control this kind of inflation, government generally raises their interest rate. Interest rate means anything you pay in terms of credit. For example, your loan interest rate, your credit line interest rate, or your car insurance, anything you see where you have to pay money will go high because of the interest rate, because the government is actually raising those interest rates for you, which actually helps in slowing down the economy, slowing down the inflation rate. But while this situation lasts, you are actually in a very terrible situation. The another worst thing that can happen during a recession is unemployment. Mostly you will see that the tech layoff happens at the beginning of the recession. That's basically an indicator that the economy is slowing down. People are letting go the good to have products in their pocket. But do you know that recession does not last very long? It ranges between 2 months to somewhere around 18 months as a period of time, and on an average the recession lasts somewhere around 10 months. So it's only the matter of 10 months to 12 months, probably an year, for you to handle your situation. And I'm going to help you out with this 5 tips. And if you will watch till the end, I will show you one additional tip which might be helpful for you. So it's going to be 5.5 tip for anyone who watches till the end. So the first one in our list is revisiting your goals. Now we know that unemployment may have impacted you at this point of time. We also know that obviously everything is more expensive, as we just discussed. It's getting more and more difficult for you to handle this situation with the raising prices of every single thing, starting from milk to tomatoes to whatever you consider eating every single day of your life. So how do we manage our savings goal? Now, I can tell you one thing, that you don't have to worry about reaching your savings goal at every point of time. We are in this situation, everyone knows that. We know that your savings goals will be slower than expected. You don't have to put in all the money you always expect to put in it, but at least try to do something. Do not stop. That's the key. Do not stop your savings goal just because you are in a difficult situation right now. Put something in. Even if you were before putting $100 every month and now you started putting less, for example, even if you can just do $10 over time, over the time of 10 months or the time of 12 months, it will have some money which will definitely help you overcome any considerable situation. For example, you need to change your oil in your car, and this may help. This may definitely help, because I think this is really important for you to have that extra stash of cash whenever needed. Let's talk about how can you keep your savings liquid while the recession lasts. Now, because we know that recession can create any sort of circumstances in your life, in your family, you want to make sure that you don't end up thinking that, oh my god, I invested every single thing and what should I do, right? Because this kind of situation may happen every single time to anyone, and you want to be prepared when that happens. So make sure that you have that stash of cash as a savings somewhere in the account so you can easily access them. Consider that as an emergency fund for you, to make sure that whenever you need it, you can take it out. You don't want to invest it right in the market, because the market right now is basically wiggly woggly, and you don't want to get into that situation where you cannot take that money out, otherwise you'll lose a lot of it. So in this kind of situation, you would technically want to keep that money aside as soon as possible in a way that you can use it. One of the key things which you can do here is to keep it in an account which gives you high interest rate. As we discussed, that the interest rates are high, so not only the interest rate where you pay the money, but the interest rate where the bank pays you the money as well. So you want to keep your money, this stash of the account, in a bank account where the interest rate is high. Now I'm in Canada, so I can tell you something about Canadian accounts, some accounts like EQ Bank, Tangerine Bank, or some of those online banks which are really nice and kind of like giving you that $0 account when it comes to checking or savings. I mean, this is really a game changer because you can literally create n number of accounts and still manage it for $0. So you don't have to pay anything. Just keep that account active, make multiple accounts depending on your goals, and just keep pushing the money in. Now let's talk something about debt. Do not take debt. I repeat, do not take debt. It might be very lucrative right now that, oh, I think I need to take debt because this is the situation. And as Raj said, it's not going to last long, right? But no, the debt here is more expensive than any other time in your life. So you want to make sure that you do not take any of this high expensive debt and you keep your life minimal as long as possible while this recession lasts. Now listen, if you had debt already, the credit card debts or like line of credit debts or any other debts, look at it. Start by taking the highest debt with the highest interest. For example, if you have a debt of $1,000 with 20% interest and a debt of $2,000 with 10% interest, then focus on that $1,000 with the 20% interest. So do not care how much debt it is, care about the interest rate you are paying right now because you are paying just too much and you know that. So what are we going to do here is that we will make sure that all your debt which has higher interest rate are covered first. Even if you are just paying $10 in it, do it because this is the time where you want to reduce your debt. If you keep reducing your debt right now, it's going to help you last very long in this recession as compared to just paying up the interest rate. It might feel hard for some people. I know it is very hard because we're in recession. We might have someone in our house who lost their job, but if you are just paying that interest rate, you are not making any changes to your debt and it's getting more and more expensive every single day. So I would advise you to definitely go in and start paying. Even if you think that I'm just paying $10 more in the debt, still do it because this is going to change that day every 6 months. For example, you are paying $60 in your debt, that's reducing your debt ultimately. This reduction in debt, especially when you are not in recession, please do it. Please do it more aggressively. But while you are in the recession, you should still do it as well. And how it will help you is that it will create a cushion for you when you are in a tough situation. You would not have to worry a lot about, oh my God, how can I afford living when I have to pay for groceries, which is more expensive. I have to pay for the gas, but then I have this gigantic debt which I did not pay when I was able to, and now it's kind of killing me. So if you have a debt of 20% interest rate, and if you have these credit card debts and you are not paying any sort of principal every single month, even if it's like $5, you're not doing justice to yourself. Now let's try to do more with less. We'll start by being a little frugal. There is nothing bad in that word, okay? People might be thinking that, oh my God, I live a good life, I don't want to be frugal. But yes, if you want to be financially healthy, at these point of situation when you are in recession, you might want to be frugal a little bit. So for example, do not make that more expensive purchases right now. Just hold in for a few months till the recession lasts and you have that financial cushion. Keep that money aside, keep that money on your hand, and do not spend it into some big expenses. Look for the deals whenever you are looking into buying something. For example, look at red flag deals. It's available in North America. You can technically use it to get any sort of deals when you're buying something. Even the grocery deals are available, so you can technically go into any grocery stores, look at whatever you regularly use and where it's cheap and just go there. So that's going to really help you reduce your overall budget. Take a look at sites when you're buying online, for example, Top Cashbacks or Rakuten, where they are giving you some cashback for every time purchases you make from certain websites. So that gives you an additional cushion. Now remember that these things might feel very small, but together they make a big number. So make sure that you are taking leverage of every single thing possible, at least at this point of time, at least for next few months. And I'm sure that once you start this lifestyle of savings, I'm sure you will really love this and this is going to change your life forever. Some other things we can look at is check the gas price every time before you are actually going to fill up your gas. Just don't go to any station and fill up your gas. Take an app like Gas Buddy and use it to make sure that, oh, even if I travel just 1 kilometer more, I'm saving 5 cents on gas then. So why not, right? Just do that. If you're traveling like 10 kilometers every single day, this is going to make a huge difference if you are making sure that you are filling up the gas in your way from work to home where the gas is cheaper instead of just filling up the gas where it's convenience. Right now is not the point to look at convenience. Right now it's the point to look at your savings, and that's why you're here, and that's what I'm going to tell you, to look at this point instead of trying to feel comfortable. Now when we are talking about work, you might be using your car right now to go to work, but what's wrong in public transportation? What's wrong in carpooling, right? If it's possible, if it's achievable, if it's doable, do it. It's only for a short period of time. You don't want to feel stressed when you are sleeping and not able to sleep. You want to feel relaxed. You want to feel that you have that financial cushion you need. And for that, for a few months, if you have to ditch your car and instead use public transportation or do carpooling with your friends who go to work together, why not? Let's just do it. Let's just give it a try. Convince your friends, tell others the same thing as well, that we really need to combine our expenses together right now so that we can reduce it and we can have more budget friendly situation. So why not? Let's give it a try. Doing more with less is an important point. That's why I'm adding more and more into this section. And the last piece I want to convey here is to use good credit cards. Do not right now try to use credit card which gives you lucrative rewards and it's not going to do anything for you, because I don't think planning a huge travel makes sense. As I said in the beginning, reduce your big expenses or postpone them temporarily. You do not want to go into those big trips, or you do not want to make that big purchases on big electronic items or big furniture right now. So do not try to use your rewards credit card. Instead, take the credit cards which gives you cash back. Now, I know a lot of people will disagree in the comments about the better way to churn right credit cards. But yes, if you are not a beginner when it comes to credit cards and you know what you're doing, go do it. But I'm talking about the people who do not know how to utilize them well and would want to either use that cash back, which helps them to make a better life right now in this situation. We looked at revisiting our savings goal, but now let's revisit our expenses. Studies suggest that on an average, a person spends $50 in the subscription accounts which they do not utilize regularly. So the first thing which you would want to do is look at all your subscription. I mean, literally look at anything and everything you pay every single month. You're not even sure. It just goes from your bank account, goes from your credit card. Look at every expenses. Just go in right now, look at them and try to see which things you did not use for more than a month. Anything which you do not use for more than a month, just cut it. Just literally cut it. Look at all your streaming platforms. Did you use Disney this month? No? Then cut it. You're not going to utilize, it's not going to make a big difference in your life, but reducing the 10 bucks, reducing the 12 bucks every single month is going to make a big difference for you. It's going to buy that meal for you, which you probably need more than watching something where you have the alternatives available for free sometimes. So any expenses, any subscriptions, anything which you know that you are not utilizing at all. I'm even talking about the gym. If you are just putting that gym membership to make you feel good but you're not actually utilizing it, did you go regularly this month every single time you wish to go, or you just convinced yourself not to go because, oh my god, I'm just so tired? Then please just don't keep it for now. Make sure that you are utilizing anything and everything possible, making the most of it. If you're not doing it, cut that expenses. Another thing which I also told you last time basically is to reduce your large spending budget. For example, oh, I wanted to make a big furniture purchase this time. Do not do it. It's not necessary for you right now. You can live with it. You lived with it for this much time. You can live with it for few months for now as well. Your mental health, making sure you have that peace in mind, is more necessary than going into buying some furnitures and paying off something where you feel like, oh, I cannot afford groceries now, or I cannot afford to go to work or my gas or anything. just because I bought this huge gigantic thing and I have to pay for that. Another arguable controversial thing I would want to put in here is cook at home. I know you don't know cooking. I know it is difficult. I know it's not viable for you to cook at home, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to save a lot of your money, which you do not even think about. Imagine you are paying $20 a meal right now. You are paying 3 times. That comes to around $60 a day. You would want to rather cook at home, and you might end up like spending what, 10, 15 bucks for your whole day worth of meal. Why not just do it? Probably eat more fruits, right? And make something which is easy. You have access to YouTube. You're watching this video right now because you have access to me. Similarly, you have access to any food channels. Another thing which might be very difficult for you right now, but you should do it, is reduce your alcohol consumption. Alcohol is one of the most expensive things you can buy. Studies have suggest again and again that the people who do not consume alcohol versus people who consume alcohol have a huge difference in their financial life. And even though we definitely reduce that fact right now from our mind, imagine we are in recession right now, and the lower you keep your budget for all your other amenities and needs, you are making better life for yourself and your family. So if you're having 3 beers a day, just have one. If you have 1 beer a day, just have once in a week or once in 2 days. Whatever can make your life better. It can help with your health as well as it can help with your pockets as well. Now for the people who already watched all my 5 points, this is a bonus point for you, and this is probably a half point because most of the people who already know about this would be like, yeah, I'm doing it, but it's difficult. So here it is. Keep investing. I know it's very difficult for you right now. Recession is here. You might have hit the job loss, but if you are investing, that means you had a good job and you have a good savings. So I will tell you guys to keep investing. Reduce that number if you feel stressed, but keep investing. Do not reduce your ability to invest right now in this market, because history has suggested again and again and again that every time there is a recession, the market jumps up pretty much very high, and you want to leverage this time as much as possible. So if you are someone who right now have a really good financial cushion, I would say to increase your investments. And the people who do not have a huge financial cushion, please invest something, even if it's very less, even if it's like buying $10 ETF every single month, it's fine, but please do that. I'm not talking about investing into single individual stocks or penny stocks. I'm only talking about ETFs and blue chip stocks. So that's it on our today's session for savings goals for you, to make sure that you are saving every bit and every penny of your hard-earned cash and keeping it aside so that you can utilize it while the recession lasts, and keeping your pockets healthy, keeping your mind healthy, and being worry free for as long as possible, because recession does not last very long and we just have to hang tight for as much as possible. Now if you liked this video, you'd probably like the similar videos I make over here, because I always try to create newer videos which helps people around. So please watch that, and I will see you in the next one.